Hello everyone, this is Al Red Sox fan coming to you from Al Red Sox fan YouTube station. Hope all is well on this Memorial Day weekend. And we're going to bring you bout number 10 of our heavyweight tournament. And this bout will pit James J. Baddock against Tony TNT Tucker, the winner to advance to round 2. Once again, happy Memorial Day weekend to everyone. God bless those who served and continue to serve. And their families and friends. Thank you very much. The bouts will be simulated using Title Bout Championship Boxing. The boxers were drawn using a Google number randomizer, and all of the first round matchups are listed below. And once the first round is done, we'll continue to the second round, and again, a random blind draw. We will avoid fights that actually took place to the best of our ability. And as I said, a list of boxers are listed below. You can use this link if you would like to know more about the boxers. It's boxingrec.com, or you can do a Wikipedia, or just search their names. So we're going to try something a little different. We're going to go through it a little more. Usually I have pictures on the sides, and I've cut the game board down, but we're going to go to the large game board and show you how you actually set up the game and call it. I will not be I'm just calling the bout. Title bout. This will be the simulation engine. I will not alter any strategies or anything like that. So let's look at James J. Baddock. James J. Baddock defeated Max Baer for the heavyweight championship in a shocking upset. They called it. That's why they called him the Cinderella Man. And then he would go on in his first defense to lose to the great Joe Louis. He would have one more fight. He defeated Tommy Farr and then would retire. Baddock stands at 6 foot 2.5 approximately, reach of 75 inches, and for this fight will be weighing in at 195. Let's go to his ratings. Now this is what we would call the boxer card. He can fight as either a boxer or a slugger. He can fight equally well inside or outside, 1 through 4, 4 being the best, 1 being the worst, and he's 3s for both of those. He covers up well. If he wants to take a round off or if he's hurt, that's a 3. You can see his knockout power, go for the knockout, again, 1 through 4, is 1. He has very little punching power. And he does tie up a lot, as he has a 70 clinching. And intellect, very good. Conditioning is questionable, but all fighters will be in their prime, so that doesn't make a difference here. Control factor versus a boxer is a 9, versus a slugger is an 11. Has a pretty solid chin. The lower the number, the better. Again, resistance to cuts and recovery, the lower the number, better. Absorb punishment, the lower the number, better. Killer instinct, again, not a big puncher, and I believe this goes 6 out of 15. Aggressiveness, even though he's a light hitter, he is an aggressive fighter. He's a very endurance-wise, 10 out of 10. Can't get any better than that. That's when he's properly conditioned. Defense, -2, so that's good. Fast starter, nope. He likes to wear his opponent down, figure them out. Fights fairly well off the ropes. As you can see, the punches here, a lot of 2-point and 3-point punches. No 4-point punches. He's not a big puncher at all. Hitting power, 3 out of 15. So that is James J. Baddock. And now we'll move on to Tony Tucker. Again, this is the boxing card. Okay, let's go to statistics, actually. I punched in. Now, there's a little discrepancy with the record. I went with the boxingrec.com record. 46 wins, 24 losses, 4 draws, 26 KOs. That's why it was such a shocking upset when James J. Baddock defeated Max Baer, the Cinderella Man. Let's go back now and we'll look at Tony Tucker, his opponent. And Baddock's overall rating is an 8 out of 15 in title bout Championship Boxing. Now let's look at Tony Tucker. Tony Tucker, TNT. He stands 6'5", 82-inch reach. And for this fight, he's going to weigh in at 221. Let's go to his ratings. Again, Tony Tucker, a very good fighter. He can fight equally well on the inside, outside, and cover up, just like Baddock. He is threes. But the big difference is Tucker has good punching power. Actually, more than good punching power. He has 10 out of 15. And he can go for the knockout much better than James J. Baddock. He also ties up on the inside, just like Baddock, actually a little more, 71. Very smart fighter, intellect 10 out of 10. Proficiency at what he does, 10 out of 10. His control factor against a boxer is 8 out of 10, against a slugger 9 out of 10. And remember, both fighters can either box or slug, so it's going to be interesting to see how their corners. Again, I'll have nothing to do with the strategies. I will be coming back later today with a title bout boxing where I'm going to control a fighter. I'll pick a fighter who's not that good against a fighter who's much better, and we'll see how we can do against them. So that's a little later in the day. His chin, pretty good. As you can see, it's a 2. 1, lower the number the better. Recovery 2, resistant 2 to cut, absorb punishment, killer instinct. So again, they're fairly evenly matched. Defense is neutral at 0, where Baddock had a -2. Fairly evenly matched, to be honest with you. The big difference is here, punching power and killer instinct. Can Tucker hurt Baddock like Louis did and knock him out? We shall see. Let's go to Tony Tucker's statistics. His record off BoxingRec.com, 57 wins, 7 losses, 47 KOs. Again, there's a slight discrepancy with that in title bout. But I use the BoxingRec.com numbers. And let's go back. And now we're going to set up a match. And let's just click save. Start a fight. So we're going to select our fighters. And we have James J. Baddock. They're right here. Double click. There's Baddock. And we're going to prime. Condition check. Top condition. All the tournament fighters are in top condition. So that's James J. Baddock. Not a very favorable picture there. Kind of a funny one. Now let's do Tony Tucker. And with this title bout, I believe it's $13, this game. And you get all the fighters and everything. And the sim engine is wonderful. So there's Tony Tucker. And again, career stage. Prime. Condition check. Top condition. In James J. Baddock's corner, his trainer's Ray Arcel. His cut man is Whitey Bimstein. In Tony Tucker's corner, his trainer is George Benton. And cut man Johnny Taco. Let's go fight options. 15-round fight. Automatic strategies both for Baddock and Tucker. As you can see, I will not have anything to do with their strategies. Check for injuries, yes. Adjust for weight, yes. Judge bias, no. We're not going to fight at Wembley Stadium because these are not UK fighters. We're going to fight in Madison Square Garden, we'll say. So let's find Madison Square Garden. This would not be a stadium fight, I don't feel. I mean, possibly we could do Yankee Stadium. Tony Tucker, Baddock had a decent. We're gonna go. When Baddock won, he fought at the Madison Square Garden Bowl, I believe it was called. We're gonna do Madison Square Garden. So let's just find Madison Square Garden. Again, usually I have this all set up, but I'm just showing you how the game works a little bit. MSG Bowl, Queens. Let's do Madison Square Garden. So they're going to fight at the Garden. Michael Buffer will be the announcer. Terry O'Connor's in English. Yeah, we'll keep Terry O'Connor. What the heck? And we'll keep the 3 judges that we had before. Mickey Van, Larry Ezzard Jr., and Dun Park. Draw until 50% of the bout is scored. The 3 judges are the scorers. 3 knockdown. In effect, mandatory 8 count. 10-point must system. Saved by the bell. Never. I hate the saved by the bell rule. Referee or doctor can stop the fight. Let's move on to analysis. Baddock can fight as a boxer or a slugger. He has a control factor of a 9 versus a boxer and a control factor of an 11 versus a slugger. Tony Tucker can also fight as either a boxer or a slugger. He has a control factor of an 8 versus a boxer and a control factor of a 10 versus a slugger. Again, it's going to be really interesting to see if the corners will bounce back and forth with the strategies. Training. Now, if you're playing against the computer or you want to, you can fool around with the training by saying you can click on the fighter to be more endurance, work on his power, defense, hand speed, tactical skills. We're not doing any of that. It's a pure sim. As you can see, Tucker has a tremendous edge in power. Baddock has the edge in endurance. Also has an edge in defense. Hand speed, fairly even. Baddock with a slight edge. In tactical skills, again, Baddock slightly more tactically sound. And all that means is, do they follow their instructions of the corner, and do they fight the way they were trained to fight? Let's move on to the fight. Continue. Madison Square Garden. Again, Terry O'Connor, the referee. Mickey Van, one judge. Larry Ezzard Jr., another judge. And Dun Park, the 3rd judge. Ringside expert for title bout championship boxing, Jason Wood. Let's go with the corner view, and we're going to get started with round 1 of 15, bout number 10 of this heavyweight tournament. I will be doing my radio call. Again, I've made the screen bigger so you can see more, hopefully. I used to do it this way, and then I cut it down before by putting pictures on the sides, but we're going back to this way and see how it goes. All right, here's round 1. Both fighters are in the ring. Baddock on the left, Tucker on the right. Again, Baddock, just get those numbers for you. Baddock 6'2.5", 195, reach 75. Tony Tucker 6'5", 221, reach 82. Tucker won the IBF championship by defeating Buster Douglas, and where do you know that name? Buster Douglas beat Tyson for the vacant belt. He would go on to lose to Tyson and Lennox Lewis, and also Herbie Hyde in other title attempts. All right, here we go for round number 1. Once again, James Baddock to the left, Tony Tucker to your right. And there's the bell. Both fighters off their stool, center of the ring. Tucker lands first with a 1-2, and Baddock felt those punches. Baddock comes back with 2 quick jabs, moves away. Now a counter right hand by Baddock. Baddock continues that slight movement side to side, backing up, then coming forward behind a jab. 1:50 left in round 1, fairly even round. Those punches by Baddock were missed. Tucker parried them away. Tucker looking to move forward. Oh, Baddock ducked under that big right hand and counters to the head and body. Now Tucker comes right back with a 1-2. Very close round. They clinch. They break the clinch. Some infighting. No effect there. Baddock throws a couple of shots out there. Misses. Counters by Tucker. Land. And again another counter right lands by Tony Tucker. Tucker taking control late in this round. And there is the bell. A fairly fast-paced round for these two gentlemen. And it was even up until the last 45 seconds where Tony Tucker was able to land his 1-2s and dig to that body. I give that round to Tony Tucker unofficially. Let's go to the unofficial scorecard from Title Bout Boxing. And Jason Wood also gives it to Tony Tucker, 10-9. Let's quickly go to the corners and see what Ray Arcel has to say to James J. Baddock. Nothing of note in the Baddock corner. He did feel some shots there. Arcel's saying don't stay in the pocket too long. Watch out for that counter right hand by Tony Tucker. A good puncher, a solid puncher. Again, has the power advantage over James J. Baddock. Now let's move to the Tony Tucker corner. And what words of advice will George Benton give Tony Tucker? George Benton very happy with what Tony Tucker did in that round. He landed his good counter right-hand shots as both fighters boxed and parried, but Tucker won the round with the bigger blows. And George says, more of the same, more of the same. On to round number 2, scheduled for 15, bout number 10 in our heavyweight tournament. Round 2. Both fighters off the stool. Looks like Baddock wants to stay on the outside and fight offensively. And Tucker wants to be defensive. And Baddock lands 2 quick jabs after a Tucker miss. They tie up and they break. Again, Baddock staying to the outside. Pawing with the jab. Pawing with the jab. Trying to bait Tucker in. Jab missed there. Good job by Tucker defending it. Tucker just trying to load up with a right hand. Again, those punches missed. But now Baddock lands a 1-2. Tucker moves forward a bit, now backs up. Under a minute to go here. Again, Baddock using his jab overtime. Just jab, 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 snapping Tucker's head back. It's been all Baddock, as Tucker really looking to try to counter in this round. Under 30 seconds to go. Tucker's landed nothing. There's a good counter left hook. And Baddock misses those punches at the bell. But that counter left hook was not enough, in my opinion, to win that round for Tony Tucker. I have it evened up at 1 now. As you can see, Baddock wanted to stay on the outside. He did. He did not want to get inside like he did on several occasions with Tucker in the first round. And he won that on his jab. Tucker missed with his counters. He did land a solid counter left at the end of the round, but not enough, in my opinion, to win it. Let's go to the unofficial scoring by Title Bout Championship Boxing. Jason Wood gives that round to Baddock, as I did. So we have it even, 1 round apiece. In points, 19-19. Let's go to Ray Arcel in the Baddock corner. Much happier. He liked exactly what Baddock was doing, staying on the outside, being very offensive with his jab, doing everything off the jab. The right hand wasn't there, he didn't throw it. Now over to the Tony Tucker corner and Georgie Benton. Benton's telling Tucker, you waited a little too long with your counter shots. He doesn't mind that you're trying to counter, it's just you got to let your hands go. But again, Baddock is a very good defensive fighter. So we get set for round number 3. Scheduled for 15. And here we go, both fighters off their stool. Once again, action center ring. Both fighters throw and miss. And now Tucker counters with combination to the body, then up to the head. And Baddock starts to go back a bit. And Tucker starts to move forward a bit. Baddock nails him with a few jabs, trying to stop the onslaught. Counter right hand lands. It's a point score. And now another jab as Baddock's just letting his hands go, and he's rat-a-tatting Tucker's head. But Tucker comes back with a big combination, and the cross really hurt Baddock. And now Baddock digs to the body, trying to come back here. He still seems dazed from that big right hand, but the body shot has slowed Tony Tucker. The counter right missed, and Baddock comes back with a 1-2 and digs to the body. And Tucker comes back. They're exchanging 15 seconds to go here in round 3. Coming towards the end, it's a fairly even round. They tie up, they work their hands, and there goes the bell. Wow. So once again, Baddock very busy. But Tucker, the bigger puncher, I have that round even just as the points up top show it. I don't think that one big punch by Tucker would win it because Baddock came back very nicely. There was a lot more clinching in that round, and Tucker was warned about a headbutt I don't know if it was a headbutt or an uppercut, but the ref did warn him, so we'll have to watch for that. There has been a warning issued to Tony Tucker. I score that round even, so I have it 1 apiece and 1 even after 3. And Jason Wood, the unofficial scorer for Title Bout Championship Boxing, scores it 10-10, so after 3 rounds he has it 29-29, and I'm in agreement. Let's go to the Baddock corner. And Ray Arcel, Whitey Bimstein, the cut man, working on some slight swelling. Nothing to be worried about. And Arcel is happy with Baddock. He's still getting caught with those solid right hands, but he's absorbing them well. Baddock is a tough fighter. Max Bear couldn't drop him. Now we'll move over to the Tony Tucker corner. George Benton, very happy with Tucker, saying it's a close fight. And try to jump on him a little more. Both fighters are fighting their normal strategies, in and out, when they can do it. We move on to round 4 here, between James J. Baddock and Tony TNT Tucker. Can the Cinderella Man prevail once again, or will TNT blow him out of the ring? Round 4, scheduled for 15. Round number 1 of our heavyweight tournament, bout number 10. And here we go, there's the bell. And again, both fighters come out to the center of the ring, and Tucker digs to the body, and he digs hard. Baddock backs up a bit, misses with the counter right, now pawing with the jab. Side-to-side movement by Baddock. Tucker pursues. Right hand miss. Baddock ducks under it and digs to the body. As both fighters trying to work that body for later rounds, it pays dividends. Both fighters throw and miss. Baddock, the slightly better defensive fighter. Again, a lot of pawing with the jab. Both fighters throw again and miss, but now Baddock moves away and counters with 2 quick shots. Oh, big shots by both fighters. And Tucker got the little better of that. Big left hook misses. Baddock ducks under, but the counter right does land for Tony Tucker. 30 seconds left in round 4. Tucker with a slight edge. 15 seconds. Both fighters throwing. And there's the 1-2 that lands from Baddock. Very close round. Very close round. The bigger punchers were Tony Tucker. And I will give that round to Tucker. He did land a couple of thudding shots. He is the heavier puncher. Again, Baddock not known for his punching power, the Cinderella Man. They are both investing heavy to the body and hoping that it pays dividends in the later rounds. Let's go. I give that round to Tony Tucker. So after 4, I have it 2-1, 2 rounds Tucker, 1 for Baddock, 1 even. Let's go to the unofficial score. And he gives it to James J. Baddock. So we're in a little disagreement there. He has Baddock up by a point. I have Tony Tucker up by a point. Broke Black Man 94, moderator extraordinaire, is at ringside. He says his money is on the underdog. So I guess he likes the Cinderella Man, James J. Baddock. Thank you for joining us at ringside. He'll be reporting at times throughout the bout. Let's go over to the James J. Baddock corner and Ray Arcel. And there's some concern in the Baddock corner now, as Tucker is starting to land and land hard. Baddock, again, very good defensive fighter. It's not like he's being overwhelmed, but you can see he's feeling the punches. Again, Baddock 195, Tony Tucker 221. Tucker does have the reach advantage. And Arcel's, they kind of want Baddock to stay in the pocket a little more, which is kind of dangerous in my opinion. But Baddock has to stay in punching room. They want him to play rat-a-tat, meaning 1-2, 1-2, 3, and get out. Baddock takes a sip of water. No nicks, cuts, abrasions to report. Nothing out of the unusual in a normal pugilistic contest. Just the normal bumps and bruises. We'll go to the Tony Tucker corner. And Georgie Benton. Johnny Taco gives Tucker a sip of water. Benton likes what he sees and says, keep investing to the body, keep investing to the body. On to round 5, very close fight here at Madison Square Garden. The crowd's enjoying it. The Garden is sold out for this bout. Again, round 4 is scheduled for 15. Bout number 10 of our heavyweight tournament, round number 1. And here we go for round number 5. Both fighters off the stool, center of the ring again. And a 1-2 by Baddock's miss, but Tucker counters with his 1-2, and that lands. Tucker using that reach advantage. Hook to the head and body, and here comes Baddock back with 2 quick jabs. Baddock has to dip in and out to get within range. Tucker trying to stay on the outside and counter, and Baddock lands on the inside now, but again quickly goes to the outside. And Baddock and Tucker both land, and both were a little wobbled by that. Baddock trying to take advantage on the inside now. Tucker opening up. Now Baddock again tries to go from distance. Under 45 seconds in round 5. Baddock lands on the inside, uppercut being the last punch, moves away, paws the jab out there, again lands with a jab. Tucker comes back with 2 quick jabs, loads up with a right hand and misses at the bell. Wow, that round, fast and furious. And Baddock actually did stun Tucker on 2 occasions as he let his hands go on the inside and then darted out. As Baddock, even though he was fighting outside offensively, has to come in within a certain range to land his punches. And then when he landed, he stayed in there and he ripped off some nice punches on the inside, snapping Tucker's head back with an uppercut. But that is a very close round, and I'm going to give that even, as Tucker, back and forth they went, and Tucker gave as good as he got. In fact, Baddock gave a little better on his end, power-wise. I don't mean he set down a little more on his punches. Again, Baddock, not known for power, was able to get Tucker's attention quite nicely, if you're a Baddock fan. Let's go to the unofficial scorer, Jason Wood. And an even round there. So he has James J. Baddock after 5, up by 1 point, 49-48. I have it the reverse. I have Tucker up by 1 point, as we were in disagreement. In round 4, I gave it to Tony Tucker. He gave it to James J. Baddock. We go to the Baddock corner with Ray Arcel and Whitey Bimstein. Arcel, the trainer, Bimstein applying grease around Baddock's eyes. A little light end swell work. Arcel likes what he sees from Baddock. He likes what he sees from the Cinderella Man. Again, Baddock has to go in and out. Even though when he fights offensively on the outside, he must get within proper distance, or Tony Tucker will just continue to keep him at the end of his long jab. Remember, Tucker has the reach advantage. We'll go over to the Tony Tucker corner, and once again, Georgie Benton and Johnny Taco. Taco the cut man, Benton the trainer. Johnny Taco rubbing up Tucker's arms. Now a little rubbing behind the neck. Georgie Benton said, continue with the work. They're a little worried, though, that Baddock sat down in his punches, and that's a catch-22. If Baddock stands and sets down on his punches, he might stay a little too long and wear out his welcome and get nailed by a big Tony Tucker TNT bomb. And again, Benton says continue to work the body and try to rough up Baddock on the inside if he chooses to come on the inside. But Tucker was trying to counter more. But again, once the punches start to fly, both men seem they want to hit each other. And that's why these fans are enjoying this bout here at Madison Square Garden. We go to round 6, scheduled for 15. It's been a very entertaining fight between James J. Baddock, the Cinderella Man, who upset Max Baer to win the heavyweight title, would lose to Joe Louis, and that started Joe Louis's wonderful heavyweight run of title defenses. And Tony Tucker defeated James Buster Douglas for the vacant IBF title, would go on to lose to Mike Tyson, Lennox Lewis, Herbie Hyde. But he did beat the man who beat Tyson, James Buster Douglas, obviously before Douglas beat Tyson. Here we go, round number 6, very close fight here at Madison Square Garden. Again, both fighters center of the ring, pawing with their jabs. Tucker looking to counter. Both fighters on, and there's the big right hand as he catches Baddock coming in. Baddock backs up, Tucker moves forward. Baddock throws 2 jabs out there and blocks that right hand. Tucker really trying to load up that right hand. Baddock ducks under some shots to the head as Tucker tries to dig to the body. Now they tie up, they work their free hands, but they break. Under a minute to go here in round number 6. Baddock lands a 1-2-3, last punch being the left hook of the head, but Tucker counters with a 1-2. They're standing toe-to-toe. Forget the outside stuff. Center of the ring. And now Baddock moves forward and catches Tucker with an uppercut. And they tie up, and there's the bell. So much for fighting on the outside. It started off, Tucker wanted to counter, Baddock wanted to dip in and out. Then he just decided, let's do it. They stood on the inside, let their hands fly. Another close round of boxing. I give that round to Baddock. Tucker again lands the harder blows, but Baddock was able to get his attention with that combination on the inside. He's been using that uppercut overtime, it seems, on the inside, Baddock, when he gets there. The punches you don't see hurt the worst. Let's go to the unofficial score. Jason Wood for Title Bout Championship Boxing. He gives that round to Baddock, as I did, but now he has James J. Baddock up 2 points after 6, 59-57. I have it dead even at 58 apiece. Over to the James J. Baddock corner, as Ray Arcel is happy with the work, but again, he does not want Baddock to stay on the inside and trade. He wants him to go in and out, in and out. Get your punches off, move away. Rinse and repeat. If inside, tie up. But Baddock has been working his hands on the inside. Again, no nicks, cuts, abrasions, nothing out of the ordinary to report from Whitey Bimstein. A little light end swell work around the eyes, some grease around the eyes. Move over to the Tony Tucker corner and Georgie Benton. The fans are really enjoying this bout at Madison Square Garden. Benton really wants Tucker to stay on the outside and counter. He says, you see that Baddock wants to come forward. He has to get in a punching range. Let him come forward and then counter. You're staying a little too long. But I think Tucker has the confidence, even though he has felt some of Baddock's punches, he doesn't believe that Baddock can hurt him. And that could be a danger as this fight wears on. Both fighters continue to invest with that body work. Johnny Taco gives Tucker a little swig of water. Tucker spits it out as we prepare for round number 6. Very close bout here. Again, James J. Baddock's overall title bout ranking is an 8, and Tony Tucker's overall title bout ranking is a 9, and that's 1 through 15. Muhammad Ali being a 15, the best. So they're about mid-range, excellent, very good quality heavyweights, obviously both heavyweight champions. Let's just take a look at the traits now and check out the endurance. And the endurance is still pretty good for both fighters there, and that's what I always like to look at, endurance. Nothing wrong with the conditions. You can see no marks. Back to the corner view. And here's round number 7. Hope you're enjoying this bout. From Al Red Sox Fan YouTube channel, my radio call. And we are at Madison Square Garden, round 7. Scheduled for 15. Again, Baddock wants to stay on the outside. Oh! Huge shots! Tucker is hurt! The last shot again being the uppercut. Baddock digs to the body. Tucker is he's in trouble. Baddock letting his hands go. Tucker again trying to parry those punches away. But Baddock is rat-a-tatting his head like a piñata. Baddock is opening up. He's going for the TKO. The crowd is going nuts. What a huge upset if he could stop Tony Tucker. Tucker grabs on, but now they break the clinch. Again, Baddock trying to load up, and he works his hands on the inside. Tucker has not landed anything. Baddock letting his hands go like a counter left hook. Snapping Baddock in his trap. Baddock starts to back up and now throws punches off the ropes. 20 seconds to go. It's been Baddock. Tucker comes back with a 1, 2, 3, and there's the bell. Wow! A big Baddock round. He had Tucker hurt and hurt bad. And that's what Georgie Benton is saying in his corner. Watch out. Don't stay too long. Well, Tucker stayed for a little more than a cup of coffee, and he got nailed again. Baddock not a big puncher. Had it been a Rocky Marciano or Joe Louis, Tony Tucker might have been kissing the canvas. So, a huge Baddock round. I mean, the onslaught was on. Tucker was able to regroup himself and then a tremendous countering shot to the body and left hook to the head and momentarily stopped the James J. Baddock onslaught. But Baddock stayed in the pocket, stayed inside. Again, initially they want to fight on the outside, but once the punches start flying, they're going toe-to-toe. Both fighters can fight equally as well on the inside and outside, so they're not following their tactical instructions from the corners. As we noted, sometimes fighters don't do it. The crowd is abuzz here at Madison Square Garden. Let's go to the scorecard. Unofficially, of course, Jason Wood gives that round 10-9 to Baddock. I'm in agreement there, and now I have the fight even. Or no, Baddock up by 1. Yes, I believe I have Baddock up by 1. He has James J. Baddock up by 3. So there's a disagreement there. Still a close fight either way. Tucker needs to land something big. Really big. I mean, he has nailed Baddock on a few occasions, but he's got to follow it up. That's where Baddock's very good defense comes into play. He's able to dip, dive, slide, roll with the punches, even when he's hurt. So the follow-up punches are not as damaging. We go to the Ray Arcel in the Baddock corner, and he is extremely happy with the results, but not happy with the way it's done. But what can you say? Again, he wants his fighter to fight on the outside, work behind the jab. He wants him to be offensive, but it's a catch-22, as I've been saying. Baddock, with less of a reach, has to get into his punching distance. He has to go into the firing range. He has to go into the pocket, we'll say, so he can get his punches off. Now, what Arcel wants him to do after that is slide side to side, tie up. On your way out, smack a jab out there, so Tucker will not pursue, but you can't argue with those results there. As again, Baddock is fighting as a boxer, but a very aggressive boxer. We move over to the Tony Tucker corner, and Georgie Benton's not very happy with his fighter. Benton admonishing Tucker. And there's some swelling there. You can see all that punishment. That Baddock, you see some 9% of swelling on the left eye, and Johnny Taco is working on that. That could become a danger if it gets worse. When you can't see the punches coming, those are the ones that will do the most damage. You're unable to defend yourself. As Baddock really opened up on him. And you can see Johnny Taco working the end swell, trying to push that swelling away. So let's see how they'll fight round number 8. That was a huge round for James J. Baddock. Again, if Baddock had any punching power, I believe Tucker would have been kissing the canvas. We move on to round 8, scheduled for 15 here at Madison Square Garden. Can Baddock continue the onslaught? And 2 quick jabs and a right hand by Baddock as he's trying to continue that momentum. Tucker blocked those blows. Tucker again looking to counter. Baddock taking his time this round, digs to the body, moves away, then steps back in with a 1-2. Again, Baddock steps away. Digs to the body, steps away. This is what they want in his corner. Arcel's very happy. Baddock missed with those blows. Again, Tucker looking to land that big right hand. Baddock missed with the 1-2, walks away, flicks the jab. Under a minute to go. Those punches missed by Baddock. They tie up. They try to work the inside. Now the ref breaks them. Again, a 1-2 by Baddock. Tucker could be having trouble seeing now. They tie up. 20 seconds ago, it's been all James J. Baddock darting in and out, landing his punches, moving side to side. There's the bell, and Ray Arcel's extremely happy in the James J. Baddock corner as he just whitewashed Tony Tucker. Baddock in and out, side to side, let his hands go. Tony Tucker, that swelling could be hampering him. As Tucker threw but did not land, and Tucker initiated the clinches, and referee O'Connor has warned both fighters for holding and hitting. So that was another nice James J. Baddock round. He has put 2 fabulous rounds together. And even though he probably landed harder shots in the prior round, he was Ray Arcel in his corner was ecstatic. As Baddock, again, you can see take the round off. Doesn't mean you just stand there and get hit. He just boxed beautifully. In and out, letting his hands go. Quick combination, side to side. Tied up on the inside, worked his hands on the inside, moved away. Tucker just was kept totally off balance and never got, as you see, didn't score anything. Never gotten a rhythm, and that's what boxing is about. It is the violent dance of pugilism. Get in a rhythm. Let's go to the unofficial score, Jason Wood. And he gives that round 10-9 to James J. Baddock. I'm in agreement. He has Baddock up 4 points. I only have him up 2 points. In the chat at ringside, we have Alan Shaw. Also here at ringside at Madison Square Garden. How are you, Mr. Alan Shaw? Hope all is well. He's joining IC Spots. Hope all is well with you. And Broke Black Man 94, all at ringside for this very entertaining bout. And James J. Baddock, a slight underdog. Broke Black Man 94 picked the Cinderella Man. Let's go to the Baddock corner again. Ray Arcel is giddy as a child with a new toy. As giddy as Ray Arcel could get. That's what he wants to see. The rat-a-tat, move away. And then on the way out, Baddock would hit him with a jab. Whether he hit him or not, it stopped Tony Tucker's any type of onslaught or offense. Just kept Tucker totally off balance, side to side, in and out, and then always playing last tag. And tremendous defense by Baddock. He was not hit with a clean blow in that round. No nicks, cuts, abrasions, or bruises, bumps to report in the Baddock corner. Just the normal wear and tear, as I say, in a pugilistic contest. We move over to the Tucker corner, and Georgie Benton is really concerned and sort of laying into his fighter now, as the swelling is up to 23% around that left eye, and Johnny Taco is feverishly working that end swell. You can see, that's a painful process. An end swell is a cold metal piece, and what Johnny Taco is doing, for those people not at ringside or watching on TV, listening to my radio call, he is pushing the swelling away, and that is a painful thing if you've ever had swelling and you've touched it. Now think of someone pressing a cold metal end swell and working it, trying to spread out the swelling to keep the eye open. But it has worsened. It has went from 9% to 23%, and that really hampered Tucker in that round. And Baddock knows this. He's a very intelligent fighter as well as Tucker, and he's taking advantage of it. Tucker has to land a big punch here, I believe. He has hurt Baddock on a couple occasions, but unable to follow up, and I think he's got to land a really big punch and follow up with it. As we approach the bell for round number 9. The crowd is abuzz here at Madison Square Garden. And here's round number 9 scheduled for 15. Again, off the stool, and Tucker lands a 1-2. Just trying to find the range there. And again a 1-2 by Tucker. Oh, I guess they are blocked, but Tucker again is throwing, but being blocked. And a good counter, 1-2-3. Those punches were not blocked, as Tucker is now sliding side to side, and he's letting his hands go. And he has hurt Baddock. He is opening up. Baddock is gasping for air. He ties up on the inside. 1:30 to go here. It's been all Tony Tucker trying to change the Baddock wave. Baddock comes back with 2 quick jabs, moving away, blocks those blows by Tucker. But Tucker's determined as he comes inside, lands to the head and body. 30 seconds ago, they tie up trying to work their free hands. The referee breaks them. 15 seconds ago, they tie up again, wrestling on the inside. And there's the bell. And O'Connor again admonishes both fighters for the wrestling on the inside. A good comeback round by Tony Tucker, as he was much more relaxed. When he saw his opportunities, he let his hands go, and he did a wonderful job rattling Baddock. Baddock did come back. He steadied the ship with his jab. He went back to old rinse and repeat, used that jab, and he steadied himself. Definitely a Tony Tucker round. Tucker was able again to hurt Baddock a bit, but never with the big shots. He got Baddock's attention. Tucker did invest well to the body. He was unable the prior 2 rounds, as he was on the end of the shellacking. So a good round for Tucker. I have Tucker winning round number 9, and so does Jason Wood, the unofficial score for Title Bout Championship Boxing. He now has it. Baddock 88, Tucker 85. I have it. Baddock by only 1 point. after 9. So still a close fight on both of our scorecards, totally unofficial though. We move to the James J. Baddock corner, and Ray Arcells is not as giddy as he was the prior round, as Tucker did a much better job of keeping his distance. And now there's some swelling on Baddock, as he really, that left hook has done some damage to his right eye. 14% swelling, so both corners dealing with swelling around the eyes, as Whitey Bimstein's turn to apply the end swell and try to push the swelling away from that right eye. So both of the swelling around both fighters' eye, that will hamper them in the later rounds. Arcells wants him to stay on the outside more. In and out, in and out. Tucker was able to impose his will in that round on Baddock more often than Baddock on Tucker. We move over to the Tony Tucker corner. Georgie Benton much happier. And Johnny Taco was able to reduce the swelling by 1%. It's still 22%, still going to be a hindrance, as that swelling is around Tucker's left eye. Tucker takes a little sip of water, spits it out. Benton wants him to continue to dig the body. They got to try to slow down. Not that Baddock is a Muhammad Ali type of boxer, but he's a very good boxer, side to side. And they want Baddock to stay more in that pocket and in the range where Tony Tucker can hit him. Let's quickly check the traits and the endurance before we move on to round number 10. And what a fight it's been here at Madison Square Garden. The people have gotten their money's worth here, and the people watching at home and listening to my radio call. As you can see, the endurance is fairly even and going down at an even level. Let's go to condition. You can see swelling on Baddock's eye there, and swelling on the opposite eye for Tony Tucker. So two gents are going to have a lovely shiners on their eyes. Back to the corner view. Here we go, round number 10. This fight's still up for grabs. And Tucker's got to be feeling a little better about himself. A really good comeback round after getting whitewashed in 2 consecutive rounds. Round 10. And Baddock's going to be very aggressive this round as he's going after that swelling. He's coming on the inside, and he's letting his hands go 1-2, and then 1-2, but Tucker counters to the body. This could be very dangerous for Baddock, coming inside, trying to rough up Tucker, the bigger man. Tucker trying to use his jab and keep distance. Baddock continued to moving in, working behind the jab. Tucker moving away. Punches thrown by both fighters, no one landing. There's Baddock landing a 1-2. Trying to get that swelling. Good countering shots by Tucker. Baddock felt those. He paws at his eye as Baddock's eye is starting to swell up more also. Back and forth they go with pawing jabs. They tie up. The referee breaks them. 30 seconds to go here in round 10. Fairly close round. A little less action. They tie up again. Countering shots by Tucker. Baddock is hurt. Tucker's opening up, but he will not have enough time. Oh, Tucker nailed him. The uppercut, then the right hand. Baddock went backwards. Tucker landed a couple more punches, but then the bell, and that came at a very great opportunic moment, for Baddock, as he was hurt and hurt badly. He was covering up on the ropes when the bell sounded. It just came at the wrong time of the round for Tony Tucker, but that's what Tucker needs. Those are the big blows that can turn the fight around. And momentum has switched with Tony Tucker right now, as he had landed before good solid shots that got Baddock's attention, but those were wobbling shots. As Baddock went back to the ropes, it just came at a end of the round and unfortuitous for Tony Tucker. I give that round to Tucker, and I have it even after 10. Let's go to the unofficial score of Jason Wood. He also gives that round to Tucker, 10-9, but he still has Baddock up by 2 points, 97-95. I have it even. So we have a 2-point discrepancy here. Again, our cards are unofficial. Let's go to the James J. Baddock corner where they're feverishly working on him, as he was hurt and hurt bad at the end of the round, covering up on the ropes. And he had the luck of the Irish there, because it came at the end of the round. Had it been earlier in the round, Tucker might have been able to continue to do real damage. Arcel, none too happy with Baddock, and that swelling has jumped to 24% as Whitey Bimstein continues to work on it, as it's closing quickly, and those hard shots by Tony Tucker will not help him. And I think he had trouble seeing those punches, and that's why he got caught so hard. Again, unfortunate if you're a Tucker fan. He came at the end of the round, but Tucker caught him with some tremendous shots. And Baddock went back into the ropes and was covering up as the bell sounded. It's going to be interesting. I would think they'd want Baddock to stay on the outside. Again, I thought it was very dangerous that he went inside with Tony Tucker, trying to take advantage and swell up Tucker even more. I just thought it was bad strategy on their part. Now we go over the Tony Tucker corner, and Georgie Benton is happy, and Johnny Taco continues to do yeoman's work. He has reduced that swelling down to 21%. So good job by Johnny Taco. And Benton wants Tucker, if he nails him, to really open up. Again, he says, you had him, it's just the bell rang. Alright, we get ready for a very close fight. And we get ready for round 11. I have it dead even after 10. Jason Wood, the unofficial scorer, has it 2 points ahead for Baddock. But it seems like Tucker is starting to wear down Baddock with his punching power. And you can see his endurance is starting to go. And Tucker's endurance is slightly ahead of him. Again, swelling on both fighters' eyes. Here we go, round number 11, scheduled for 15 here at Madison Square Garden. And there's the bell again! Baddock's going to come out aggressively and move to the inside and try. He does! 1, 2, 3, 4. Tucker backs up. He's not seeing those punches. Tucker misses with the counters. And again, Baddock leaps in with multiple punches. Tucker's having a lot of trouble seeing those punches. Baddock's just wailing away. And Tucker comes back and hurts Baddock. They're standing toe-to-toe. Baddock moves backwards. Now he lands a 1-2. Tucker trying to load up here. Baddock again nails him with a 1-2. Tucker's having trouble seeing those punches. They tie up. Tucker digs to the body on the inside. Under a minute to go here. It's been Baddock so far. Close round, but Baddock. Those punches were missed by Baddock. That carrying shot by Tucker. Baddock rolls backwards. Throws 2 jabs to get Tucker off of him. Very close round. Tucker landing some big punches towards the end. They tie up 5 seconds to go. They work free. And those punches did not land. So again, Baddock comes out to fight aggressively on the inside. I guess that's what they want him to do. I'm in disagreement with that. I mean, he landed. He snapped Tucker's head back. And Tucker was stunned and badly stunned. He's not seeing those punches. He has swelling on that eye. And I think that's why they want Baddock to get in there, stay in the pocket, and let your hands go. But while doing that, Tucker was able to counter with good shots to the head and body. Baddock backed up a couple of times, but then went right back in there, into the den. I give that round to Baddock. Close round, but I give it to Baddock. Tucker rallied at the end, but not enough. Unofficial score, Jason Wood gives it to Baddock. And now he has James J. Baddock up by 3 points, 107-104. I have Baddock up by 1. Let's go to the Baddock corner. And Ray Arcel and Whitey Bimstein. And again, Baddock did good work on the inside, but that his eye continues to swell. It's now up to 29%. Bimstein working that end swell. Again, pushing that swelling away, trying to keep the eye open. Will they stick with the strategy of being very aggressive? It's not even darting in and out anymore. It's get your punches off and continue to punch. Again, Baddock's not standing there to be hit. He rolls with the punches, he parries the punches, but he is in the pocket to be hit back. He takes a swig of water and spits it out, as Bimstein tries to get some final end swell work on that eye. before the bell rings, we quickly go to the Tony Tucker corner. And his swelling has jumped up 32%, so it was down to 21%, up to 32%. As Braddock, and that's the strategy, it seems. They're going to go after Tony Tucker. They're going to try to lump him up on that eye, and get a stoppage via TKO. As you could see, Tucker is having trouble seeing. He paws at his eye, as well as Braddock, but Braddock staying in the pocket, letting his hands go. Georgie Benton doesn't know what, I mean, he's telling his fighter what to do. But what can you do if your eye's swelling up and he's not seeing the punches? He asks Tucker, are you alright? Tucker says yes. As we prepare for round number 12. Very, very close fight. I have it Braddock up by a point. The unofficial score, Jason Wood, has Braddock up by 3 points. Now let's go to the traits and endurance, as both fighters are becoming to get close to that empty tank as they're fighting on skill, heart, and determination now. And again, Tony Tucker has to thank his stars that Braddock is not a big puncher. Again, if this is Rocky Marciano, Joe Louis, a big puncher, Mike Tyson, you know, Tucker could be kissing the canvas. Alright, here we go, round 11. As both fighters have what's now becoming heavy swelling around their respective eyes. Round 12. And again, Braddock's going to come out very aggressively. Tucker looking to jab and counter. They tie up on the inside. They break. Braddock moving forward. Tucker moving side to side, flicking the jab. And both fighters throw, but Braddock lands a harder cross. And now Tucker moves in and covers up. And ties up. They break. And again they throw, but Braddock's punches are quicker and seem to have more effect. Tucker tries to bore in. Braddock counters, slides away, then comes forward with 2 jabs. They tie up. They break. 1:30 to go. Braddock winning this round at the moment. And again, Braddock works on the inside, letting his hands go, snapping Tucker's head back with an uppercut. Tucker trying to keep distance. He is having trouble seeing. He hits him with 2 jabs. Braddock slides away. Right hand misses. Good defense by Braddock. 30 seconds to go. Countering left hook nails Braddock coming in. He is hurt. He is backing up. But now he comes off the ropes, firing 1s and 2s. Tucker backs up. Braddock lands 2 quick jabs at the bell. Wow! Good round of action in round 12. Braddock wins that round, as Tucker is having a lot of trouble seeing those punches. And Braddock staying in the pocket, being ultra aggressive. He wants to get a TKO here. Again, Braddock can fight on the inside, don't get me wrong. He's 3 out of 4 inside, outside, and cover up, the same as Tony Tucker. Tucker is the harder, much harder puncher, though. But that eye swelling has hampered Tucker. And Braddock is just getting his punches off quicker. And he's letting his hands go. And he's rat-a-tatting Tucker's head. Again, I give that round to Braddock. I have him up by 2 points now. Jason Wood, the unofficial scorer for Title Bout Boxing, has him up 4 points. And ironically, he gives that round to Tony Tucker. Wow! And I just assumed as I clicked on it. And now he has Braddock up by 2 points also. So we're in even with the way we're scoring it. I have Braddock up 2. He has Braddock up. We just got there in a different way. But we both have it 116, 114. I don't agree. He gave Tucker that round. Tucker did land some good, hard shots, and he did wobble Braddock, but Braddock came fighting right back off the ropes. Let's go to the Braddock corner. Championship rounds coming up, 13, 14, and 15. And you know the 13th round, the hard luck round. Braddock's swelling's now 33%. Again, Bimstein working feverishly on that swelling around that right eye. And Arcells says just keep doing what you're doing. They want him to be ultra aggressive. We're going to see. If he continues that tactic, he has followed the tactic to the T. Again, he's taking punishment, but not as much punishment as you think he should, as he dips, dives, parries away blows. So Tucker cannot get the full effect when he does land. And when you miss punches, they wear you out just as much as being hit from them. We go to the Tony Tucker corner and Georgie Benton. And there's a lot of concern. 46% swelling around that left eye. That thing is nearly, I mean, again, that's coming close to being shut. You get 50%, over 50%, you're starting to see out of the slit, and that's what it is. It's pretty much his left eye is becoming a slit. So he's having a lot of difficulty, and when Baddock gets in there, he is in his range. He is letting his hands go. Johnny Taco working the end swell overtime, trying to push the swelling away. It's coming to a point where I think Georgie Benton's whispering something in Tucker's ear. Will they go for the knockout? Will they go for the knockout? As there's a lot of concern. Both fighters, a lot of swelling. Tucker around the left eye, Baddock around the right eye, but Tucker seems worse for wear. As we prepare for the hard luck round, round 13, will it be unlucky for someone? We shall see. Endurance all but gone for both fighters. Again, they're fighting on grit and determination now and skill. Fans are in a frenzy here at Madison Square Garden. This bout was chosen by Beatles Eternally, good friend of the channel. He wanted this one next in our heavyweight tournament. I oblige. And good call by Beatles Eternally. This has been a good give-and-take fight. Highly entertaining. I hope you're enjoying it. We have Alan Shaw at ringside, as well as Broke Black Man 94 and I See Spots. And here's round 13, the hard luck round. Both fighters slowly off their stools, center of the ring, pawing with their jabs. Baddock seems to be staying on the outside more. Tucker landed a 1-2. Baddock's jab missed. Tucker lands another 1-2-3. Slides away. Tucker using his height and reach advantage. Again, using the jab, pawing it. And Baddock digs to the body and moves sideways away from the contact afterwards. When Tucker threw, they tie up, they break. Minute 45 to go in round 13. Both fighters content, trying to work off their jab. And there's a big right hand. Baddock is hurt. Tucker pursues. Baddock ties him up on the inside. Under a minute to go. Can Tucker follow up? Those punches were missed by Baddock. And Tucker does follow up, digging to the head and body. Baddock's eye is getting very close to being shut now. He lands a 1-2, trying to stop the onslaught. Now on the inside, Baddock lets his hands go. Last punch being an uppercut. Counter right by Tucker misses, and there is the bell. That uppercut that Baddock threw on the inside did not have that zip it had the past few rounds. That was a good Tony Tucker round. He landed some thudding blows, and now, again, both fighters having trouble with swelling around their eyes. Baddock the right eye, Tucker the left eye. I give that round to Tucker. And I am in agreement with Jason Wood. I have Baddock up by 1 point. As Jason Wood, after 13, has Baddock 125, Tucker 124. We just got there a little different. But we're in agreement with the total. And let's go to both corners are very concerned for their fighters. As usual, we'll go to the James J. Baddock corner and Ray Arcel and Whitey Bimstein, as that eye is really bubbling up. 36% now. Bimstein, again, trying all the tricks of the trade to keep it under control. But Baddock, as well as Tucker, both having trouble seeing the punches coming. And they're both on the outside in that round, trying to get a little bit of a breather, trying to save what endurance they have left for the final charge of rounds 14 and 15. But Tucker was the busier fighter, and when he landed with more authority. He sent Baddock back towards the ropes. Baddock did fight his way off the ropes. As Ray Arcel, 6 more minutes, Jimmy, 6 more minutes. So we'll see how they fight him. This fight's up for grabs. We got rounds 14 and 15 coming up. Myself and the unofficial scorer, Jason Wood, have Baddock up by 1 point. What a fight it's been here at the Garden. And now we go to Georgie Benton and Johnny Taco in the Tony TNT Tucker corner. And the swelling has gone down slightly, so Taco has done good work. It's still 42% though. And we have 6 minutes of pugilistic contest left. And the fans here at Madison Square Garden are very appreciative of the effort put forth by both James Baddock and Tony TNT Tucker. This fight's up for grabs. The winner will advance to round 2 of our heavyweight tournament. We're going to come back with another heavyweight bout after this one in about 20 minutes, as I'm trying to get the tournament running again. This is bout number 10. First round has 40 bouts. Here we go. Round 14. 6 more minutes of boxing. Fighters center of the ring, pawing their jabs, circling one another. Again, Baddock seems tired, trying to protect that eye. They tie up on the inside. Baddock more concerned with playing defense here, as Tucker throws but cannot land. Baddock on the outside, side to side, back and forth. Now he leaps in, and he lands a 1-2, now walks away again. And tries to leap in, and Tucker counters with a left hook. But again, Baddock keeping distance using his jab. Countering punches by Tucker missed. Baddock, a very good defensive fighter. Baddock flicks a couple of jabs out there to keep Tony Tucker off balance. Tucker lands a 1-2-3, good scoring blows. Nothing behind them, though. Under 30 seconds to go. Now Tucker unleashes with good combination. Baddock felt those punches. Again, Tucker's opening up at the round. Baddock is in trouble. 10 seconds to go. Can Tucker do it? He lands shots to the head and body, and there's the bell. And Baddock was in a world of hurt at the end of round 14. A world of hurt. As Tucker just opened up, ripping hellacious shots to the head and body. Baddock was no longer moving in, darting in and out, trying to keep Tucker off balance. He was just trying to survive the onslaught by parrying and dipping and diving and rolling with the punches. As he slowly goes back to his corner. A huge Tony Tucker round. And I have it dead even after 14, 7 rounds apiece. The unofficial scorer, Jason Wood, has it dead even after 14 rounds. This has been the best bout of the tournament. So Jason Wood, after 14 rounds of boxing, has it 134-134. I am in agreement. We have some differences of opinions on rounds, but in total, we have it dead even. 3 more minutes of boxing to go. And I haven't even thought of it. What if it's a draw? They're going to have to fight this thing over at a later date. Wow! The crowd is nuts here at the Garden, Madison Square Garden. Full capacity. No fannies in their seats at the end of that round. As Tucker was opening up on a, it looks like a fading Baddock. And he's having a lot of difficulty seeing. Why, only a few rounds back, it was Baddock who was giving it to Tucker. But again, Tucker, the much bigger puncher. Ray Arcel telling his fighter 3 more minutes, Jimmy, 3 more minutes. As that swelling's 45%. Bimstein doing the best he can. Doctor takes a quick look. As he now starts to head over to the Tucker corner to take a look at that, at the Tucker left eye. And again, Arcel, 3 minutes, Jimmy, 3 minutes. Give it all you got. We go to the Tony Tucker corner. And they're probably going to be similar instructions from Georgie Benton. But of the two, Tucker obviously looks the fresher, winning rounds 13 and 14 and evening this bout up. Georgie Benton now. And what a job Johnny Taco's done the past few rounds. He's got the swelling down to 32%. A few rounds back, it was up to 46%. So hats off to Johnny Taco, the MVP in that corner when it comes to the end swell. George Benton saying, 3 minutes, Tony. Let's unleash the TNT. As we get ready for round 15, and we will look at the traits. And again, endurance gone for both fighters. They are fighting on grit and determination. Let's go to the conditioning. You can see that bad swelling on the right eye for Baddock. And Tucker's does have that swelling. But it's Johnny Taco's done a marvelous job. Not that Whitey Bimstein hasn't. It's just that Tucker's been landing hard punches the past few rounds when he does land. And here it is, the final 3 minutes of action. Buckle up, folks. Here we go. Who will advance to the second round of our heavyweight tournament? Round 15. This is it. Both fighters touch glove and now go on to beating the bejesus out of each other. And Baddock lands first. A 1-2. He's fighting on the inside. He's boring in. Tucker backing up, trying to use the jab, but Baddock works the body. Baddock determined to win round 15 and move on. Oh! Baddock locked in to the countering right hand, and down goes Baddock.
3, 4.
The timekeeper's count is picked up by the referee.
6, 7.
Baddock will take the. He's up at 4. He'll take the mandatory 8. This could salt away the victory for Tucker as Baddock is trying to cover up. Tucker not really pursuing. Working the jab. 1-2 landed by Tucker. And Baddock is having a lot of trouble now with vision. And again, Tucker landing, pushing Baddock back under 30 seconds to go. Baddock lands a combination off the ropes. Now digs to the body, 15 seconds. They tie up, the ref breaks them. O'Connor looks at the eye, and there's the bell! Tony Tucker, in my opinion, has just won this fight with that knockdown in round 15. And there was the counter right hand that nails Baddock on the button. As I've been saying, it's a dangerous thing when you're not a big puncher to go for that inside knockout. But they needed to win round 15. This fight was dead even on my scorecard and the unofficial score, Jason Wood. And I believe Tony Tucker has just won it by 2 points because it's a 2.108 round with the knockdown. Tucker won the round plus the knockdown. What a countering shot by Tucker. As you could see, Baddock boring in and letting his hands go. And then Tucker trying to stay behind that jab. Got the distance, let the right hand go. Caught Baddock coming in, who has a very good chin. As you could see, he got up at the count of 4. As O'Connor was picking up the timekeeper's count. He took the mandatory 8. Tucker continued to try to bang him around the ring a bit. Baddock survived, fought off the ropes a couple of times, and the bell sounded, but I don't think James J. Baddock is moving forward. I think Tony Tucker with that knockdown, and this has been the best fight so far of the tournament. Unbelievable, down to the wire. It doesn't get any better than this. Unbelievable. Let's go to the unofficial scorecard for the last time. Jason Wood, he gives it a 10-8 round due to the knockdown, and as I have it, Tony Tucker, in our eyes, is a 2-point winner, 144-142. The knockdown cemented the victory. The knockdown cemented the victory. He catches Baddock coming in. Baddock unable to avoid that shot. Again, Baddock with that swelling, he probably didn't see that counter right hand. And the swelling finally cost James Baddock. He was usually able to parry the punches, turn with the punches, dip and dive, but not that time. Tony Tucker lands it. Baddock goes down on his fanny. He gets up at the count of 4, took the mandatory 8 count. What a fight. Unbelievable. Now let's...
The judges' votes are in, and here, ladies and gentlemen,
as we wait for the official announcement, and in my eyes, Tony Tucker has just won a very close decision. The knockdown being the difference in round 15. He will move on to round 2 of this tournament. And here we go. We wait Michael Buffer's announcement as the referee, O'Connor, gathers the scorecards. A lot of excitement here. And here's Michael Buffer. He has the decision. Ladies and gentlemen, the judges have tallied their scorecards. Here is your decision. Mickey Van of England has it 145-141. Larry Ezzard Jr. of the United States has it 144-141. So it's a unanimous decision. Dong Ung Park of South Korea scores the fight 145-141. And your winner by unanimous decision, Tony TNT Tucker. He will be moving on to the second round as both fighters shake hands. What a fight it was. Incredible, folks. Incredible. I hope you enjoyed it. We'll quickly go. Wow. We'll go to some punch stats here. So once again, I'd like to thank Alan Shaw, Broke Black Man 94, and IC Spots, who were at ringside watching the pugilistic contest as I called it. Thank you to anyone who watched and did not jump in the chat, and thank you to anyone who joins, who watches later. Feel free to comment. We'll be coming back most likely with another heavyweight tournament matchup, as well as a title belt boxing bout where I control one of the fighters, not in the tournament, but just about. I haven't decided yet. So James J. Baddock was actually out-jabbed at the end by Tucker. Tucker landed 71 compared to Baddock's 63. And you can see when Baddock went to the inside, he was working his hooks 76-50. The crosses fairly even. Again, these fighters were throwing punches. It was a hellacious, entertaining fight. Toe-to-toe they went at times. Combinations, again, you could see Baddock let his hands go a little more. He had landed 71 combinations. When he was on the inside, he worked and worked hard. Uppercuts, Baddock again, a little better with the uppercut as he snapped Tucker's head and hurt him a couple of times. Had Baddock been a bigger puncher, he might have won this fight via TKO, but Baddock not a big puncher at all. And what it came down to, as I stated, what it came down to, the power of Tony Tucker. And in the end, he drops Baddock in the 15th round, salting away the victory for Tony Tucker. Punches landed, Baddock 354, Tucker 311. Again, Baddock landed more punches. As I stated, he was working and working hard. Punches landed per round. Baddock landed approximately just under 24. Tucker 20. Punches missed. Baddock missed 657. Tucker 616. Excuse me. They threw a lot of punches. It was a very entertaining fight. Total punches thrown. Baddock threw over 1,000. 1,011. Tucker not that far behind, 927. The only knockdown scored in the bout, Tony Tucker in round 15, and that salted the victory away. Both fighters' landing percentage, wow. You can't get any closer than this. 35% punches landed for Baddock, 33.5 for Tony Tucker. Tremendous fight here. Let's go back to the fighters. So Baddock, 46, 24, and 4 with 26 knockouts before the simulation bout, will now drop to 46 and 25, 4 and 26. Tony Tucker will improve his record from 57, 7 and 47 to 58, 7 and 47. Again, we're adding the simulation bout to their real records. And here we go. We update it. So advancing to round 2 of the tournament in a thriller. And the fight of the tournament so far, Tony Tucker has a close decision over James J. Baddock. And there's one more thing I'd like to look at, actually. We know how the whole bout was scored. Let's look at the round by round really quick. Let's see any discrepancies here. And just the pure points by punches landed in title bout boxing, everyone, it's allotted a point total. Baddock, 423, Tucker, 434. Again, that being Tucker the bigger puncher, so when he lands his punches, point-wise, in the game, there's a point system. Anywhere from from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. 5, up to 5. And Tucker, the harder puncher, when he lands the harder punches, gets more of a point total. And in points off punches landed, if I'm explaining that correctly, 434 to 423. What a great fight, close fight. On all 3 scorecards, Tony Tucker took the championship rounds. 13, 14, and 15 on Mickey Van of England, Larry Hazzard Jr. of the United States, and Dong Ung Park of South Korea. He took the championship rounds, 13, 14, and 15. When Baddock had taken 11 and 12 on all their scorecards. So down the stretch, it was Tony Tucker. As Anthony was at ringside, I did not notice him. Anthony from Bleacher Bums Gaming says, "Wow, big finish by Tucker there." Yep. I was inspired by you, Anthony, to go back and do my tournament, and I'm looking forward to purchasing your game. I can't wait. I'm very excited when it's all set. I like the oh, I should have put that link in. I'm going to put the link at the, before I leave in the chat on that for your game. So, I love the way the game flows, with the dice, your board game for the boxing. Alrighty, so, alright, close. Really? The game's going to freeze up on me? Oh, there it goes. Alright, so we're going to hit finish. And Tony Tucker advances. And we're going to hit save. And I usually go through a few other things. I'm not going to do that. I'll do that offline. T-Dub, what's blazing in sports? Yo, 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 in the house. How are you, Al? Thank you. I'm good, my friend. Great show today from the gym. As T-Dub from What's Blazing in Sports was at the gym. And we talked. He had a live boxing show. We actually had a troll in there, but we handled that situation. Though as T-Dub says, even if you troll him, hit that like button. That was a great line. So, Anthony from Bleacher Bums Gaming says, haha, thank you and love your announcing a fight on fights. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, and I'm not lying. I'm going to purchase it because I always loved Title Bout Boxing. I have the original game, the flip cards. When I was a kid, I tried to figure out how to use dice because I'm like, it just doesn't flow. Now, I love boxing, so I'd spend hours playing the game. And I see the new one that Earl did, and it's a nice game. He did a nice job, but I like yours better. As T-Dub says, LOL, ha ha ha. Yeah, that was funny. You did a great job. You were at the gym. We talked boxing. We had a good crowd in that chat. That was really good. I was happy. You know, YouTube is not sending me my ring-a-dingy things. I don't get them right away, and that's annoying. I click on certain channels, so I get to say, hey, this person's done something or they're live. And I'm noticing I'm not getting them right away. So, but whatever. I'm glad I was able to be there for the end of it, and we had fun, so good job there. So once again, thank you to T-Dub, and that's What's Blazing in Sports for your boxing needs. Bleacher Bums Gaming with Anthony. I'm going to be putting a link in the chat. Actually, I'm going to do it right now because I forget things. And let me go. And he's developed his own boxing game as well as his own baseball game, but this is for the boxing. And let me just bear with me if a sound. This is my own channel. I can't get a copyright hit for my own channel. So, I mean, if you hear some sounds, it's my channel. Let's go to Anthony now. I think I can find it quicker in history. I'm going to put 2 links in. 2 links. One, him explaining the game. Okay, this is the Mike Tyson, what a fight that was. Mike Tyson, Jack Johnson. I almost did it, but I didn't want to do it because the tournament, but I was like, I wonder if I would get the similar results in a 10-rounder. Okay, where is introducing? So let's put this one in. And I'm going to pause it real quick so we don't get any sound. Not that Anthony would mind, but YouTube is funny, and they like to whack me with things. Copy. And this is a link to Bleacher Bums Gaming. And an introduction into his dice boxing game, which he's developing, card and dice, and it's outstanding. As What's Blazing in Sports, T-Dub says, yeah, I enjoy it. I heard other people say, yeah, it's annoying. It's annoying. I'm not getting... If I could figure out how to stream well on Twitch, I'd go to Twitch. I swear to God. But the few fans, the few people who subscribe are on here, so I stay here. And now I'm going to put another link, and this is Jack Johnson 10-rounder versus Mike Tyson. And it should be, where is it? I guess I'll just go backwards. I think it'd be off to the side. And that's the introduction. I put that in there. Really? Really? Oh, YouTube. And here it is. This is Mike Tyson, Jack Johnson, Glory Days Boxing, being developed by Anthony from Bleacher Bums Gaming. Wonderful job.
Look at the intro.
Sorry about the sound. Hopefully, I will not get whacked with a copyright hit, even though Anthony probably doesn't mind that there is some slight sound from his channel. You never know how YouTube feels, though, and that's always a thrill. And here is gameplay from Glory Days Boxing. And this is Mike Tyson, Jack Johnson, 10 rounds. And I'm not going to give it away. It was a great fight. That's all I'll say. And on that note, I'm going to bid everyone an adieu. Thank you very much for joining me. Happy Memorial Day weekend. Thank you to those who served and gave the ultimate sacrifice and continue to sacrifice for our country, the United States of America. I greatly appreciate it. And let me just say to everyone, you should stand for the national anthem. Regardless of your political beliefs, stand for the national anthem. It's a nice thing to do. It's the right thing to do. So, anyhow, till next time, health and happiness. Take care. Bye-bye. God bless. And as always, peace.